what I was thinking about? What this mouse function will actually be really useful for?
So today we're going to talk about the new function from the Switch 2, the mouse function. It looks very interesting. Could be lots of possibilities, lots of different games. Well, today we're going to discuss some games.
Yeah, so we're just going to talk about the games that we wish to see, or the games that we think that are maybe possible to play with this new Switch mouse.
Yeah, for starters, like games like Mario Party. Those use all the new functions of a Joy-Con or
Mario Party, WarioWare.
I was thinking also like more like board games, things like third-party games like Monopoly, or maybe more strategic games also. What were you thinking?
Yeah, so indeed, strategic games like Civilization and Advance Wars, I think also is a possibility. But okay, besides Monopoly, what other board games would we play? Monopoly and Mario Parties, of course, the board game, but Monopoly and maybe...
I think it gives some option for third-party developers to create some games, mostly board games or strategic games, or maybe something more simple like chess or checkers, and maybe more like a Mario style of game then, like maybe the board is filled with Mario characters.
How will chess be indeed? Just imagine it. You select the piece you want with one Joy-Con, the left, and then with the right Joy-Con maybe you move the piece. Something like that.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Maybe Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually. I'm thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah, card games, yeah, that's also like a very good one. There's one in particular I'm thinking of as Mario Maker, because then you have like a whole canvas to do all kinds of things, and then maybe you move around on the wall, or maybe just take a large table and start making things.
Mario Maker is indeed, I think that's the main game that will use this function probably.
Yeah, like for almost like 100%. But other games, maybe small features like in maybe the new Mario Galaxy, they're gonna use like this mouse function for something specific we don't know yet.
Back in the day on the Super Nintendo, there was also a game called Mario Paint, right? Yeah. I never had it, but I know that this game existed, Mario Paint. Because this is like, you can draw with this, make some...
Yeah, or a brush. Or
like a brush, kind of, this thing. And maybe also when you take it off the table and move it closer, that it can recognize how far away from the table it is, right? And then kind of like an Apple Pencil on an iPad, but... Or maybe not an Apple Pencil, but I know that Kindle from... what's the name? There's this tablet, and then when you have this pen, this digital tablet, and then when the pen comes closer, it recognizes that it comes closer and stuff like that. So maybe this technology is in this...
Maybe it's incorporated indeed in this mouse function, and What I tend to see is also Nintendo wants to have people to be creative, like be yourself, be happy. And this mouse function really adds on this.
I am personally, if I can be honest here in this is our YouTube channel. Can I be honest, please?
Be honest, please.
Thank you for watching, by the way, and don't forget to hit that like button. But to be honest, I am not enthusiastic about this mouse function at all. I am not convinced. So that's just, I mean, there's no reason for me to think like, yay. Let's play like this, something, I don't know.
No,
I have to be convinced by Nintendo, and I guess maybe there will be one game like Mario Maker, and maybe in Mario Party and WarioWare. Okay, sure, those are the only games that I can, I feel like, okay, I'll use this function, but for the rest, like in a new Zelda or in a new 3D Mario game or Smash Brothers or Splatoon 4, I don't see myself playing around with this Joy-Con on the table. I don't, because I'm holding this Pro Controller in my hand, so it means that I have to switch between the Pro Controller and the Joy-Con.
I'm also not very sure about this. It's more like a gimmick, like something extra. Like it's pretty hard to create a whole game around it. It's possible, but I'm not sure it's gonna be Nintendo themed, or it has to be something very specific. Like Mario Maker, because for the other games I don't really see how they're gonna incorporate this function and what it really gives extra to a certain game. Maybe it makes it more difficult, but just like Tigo was saying also, like I prefer to use the Pro Controller instead of, I don't know, like going around the table like this Like, yeah, I can just use my normal mouse and connect it with USB onto the Switch.
It's also
It's
like
the same. But
I play here on this couch, and then there is no table. Like there's no real table here to play. So if I'm sitting on the couch, how am I gonna, play this game? Even with Mario Party, so I have to buy a table first before I can play that game, huh?
yeah, invest in a table instead of the Switch.
Table, yeah. Because I have this little table here, but it doesn't count. I also wrote down some other, so Mario plus Rabbids, SimCity and The Sims.
SimCity. Well, yeah, that's more like former PC games. So
yeah, I'm thinking of all those PC games you need. SimCity.
Could be a good match. Yeah, and board games.
Yeah, board games. So that's the.
Yeah, but I'd rather just
play a real board game.
Indeed. But if you want to play online with other people to play board games and you're alone and you're bored, well,
yeah.
Get this board game, but paying the full price for it, I don't know.
You know what I was thinking about? What this mouse function will actually be really useful for? To go on the internet. And to use it as a mouse, probably. And your Switch, sometimes on the TV, right? And when you're on the TV, or maybe on the PlayStation or on the Switch, you want to go to the internet, but then you have to use the control stick to move around the mouse. Now you have an actual mouse.
He's a genius!
I've had this problem also, like you have to use the analog stick to get into that corner, into the search, search something on Google. Or,
that's even the same, kind of difficulty as getting that DVD logo into the corner, indeed.
Oh, that's just a waiting game, but it takes hours. So after watching the reveal trailer about all the new functions, the mouse function, we don't really think it's gonna be, well, I don't really think it's gonna be a real big impact on the new games the Switch 2 will be releasing. Because it's very limited actually for, well, Mario Maker is a game you could use it for. Maybe board games, strategic games, and maybe there are gonna be some third-party developers. But for other games, like maybe the new Mario Galaxy, maybe it's gonna be an add-on function. But I don't think it's gonna be like a real whole new kind of Nintendo game focused around the mouse, and it's probably just gonna be a mouse for going on the internet. Because that's one of the things Switch was lacking actually. If you wanted to go online and just want to search something very quickly, it wasn't very quickly actually. It took quite a while.
So maybe also Nintendo will release a keyboard. What do you think about that? Or you think it's not gonna happen?
A keyboard? Yeah.
I mean, we have a mouse, so might as well release a Nintendo keyboard.
Yeah, maybe a nice Mario themed Nintendo keyboard would be very cool actually.
Yeah, it's like a mini PC becoming then, huh?
Yeah, like an all-round console, not only for gaming but also going on the internet, on social media or YouTube to watch our channel.
I think actually they will not do that. Nintendo's very restricted. They want to keep everything in their bubble, right?
Yeah, but they also kind of took on more like third-party games. They're doing that a lot more, so they're moving up with the time.
I hope you're right, that they're moving up with the time. Yeah, no, I hope you're right.
I think this mouse function is something extra and it's not something to create a whole game around it.
No, I agree with you. I think they're probably going to create 1 or 2 games around this function, just like we said before. WarioWare probably, and maybe a Mario Party where this will be prominent. Or maybe not even actually, because Mario Party will for sure be playable with the Pro Controller, but something like WarioWare, I guess. And for the rest, we're gonna forget about this function probably in a few years. And if I'm wrong, we'll make a video about that in 5 years.